Thank you to the Sues. Yes, it's true that I'm on an unpaid leave, which is why I'm able to be here on a Thursday. I have to admit I'm extraordinarily tired right now. But listening to Sue talk about the process of writing her play, it actually took me back, and I really do not want to talk for any length of time at all. I just want to tell this one story that I just thought of while you were speaking. Well, not this one story, but just a kind of background, which is that I studied theater in college. And when I went away to college, my parents had high expectations for me. And one thing they did not want me to do was to spend all this money to get a degree in theater. And yet I persisted and insisted. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. I really wouldn't. I'm not working. Certainly I use those skill sets, but as you said, it's not just a question of skill for job, kind of linear thing, but about personal development. When I think about my moments of the most profound learning, moments of personal challenge and growth, moments where I literally would feel my head spinning around on my neck, like I was looking at things in a totally different way. Most of those moments took place outside of classrooms. And most of those moments took place in the context of interactions with my classmates. And most of those moments had to do with some play that we were putting on together and the ways that we were challenging each other to do it. So here we were busy doing something that we both cared about, trying to make something, trying to do something that was intrinsically to us worth doing. And in the process of doing that, we learned so much. And I'll never forget, I had the experience a few years ago when I was teaching in East Harlem still, where I had begged the principal to let me teach drama. The amazing thing about New York City, as a center of the dramatic arts, is that nobody learns drama in the schools. Mm-hmm. It's remarkable. They did a whole program to encourage people to get licenses to teach drama. They called me and said, "Brian, would you like to get a license to teach drama?" I said, "Of course." So they put me through a whole program, and at the end of it, I took a bubble test to prove that I could teach drama. It was a very hard bubble test. What is a scrim? Is it a sheet where people make things? It was crazy. What is stage left? I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. You see, that's how you get excellence. That's why I'm just so damn good. All that preparation I did for that drama teacher test. So anyway, finally after so much begging, the principal took a risk and said, "You know what, Ryan, fine. Next year you're the drama teacher." I taught drama for just 1 year to grades 2 through 5. And to my great astonishment, the absolute best dramatists, both in writing and in performance and in acting, really across the board, were the second graders. Absolutely fearless. You want me to be a snake? Done. It's like, you gotta pull them out of it. All right, stop. I'm not done yet. Like, they were so dedicated. And at the end of it, we produced plays. We produced over a dozen student-written plays. We had staged readings up on the stage. Everybody, all the parents came. We got to see their plays. And I often think back to this because I also think, is there a way that somebody who was not there at the school, did not come to see these plays, is there any way that it would be possible for somebody to reasonably evaluate my students and what they learned who was not there? And furthermore, would it in any way be conceivable for somebody to evaluate me as a drama teacher who was not there? And yet, that is what they're attempting to do. What they're attempting to do is take all of the power, all of the decisions about assessment, which inevitably are then decisions about what will be taught and what will be learned, and remove all of that power away from the classroom. Not only away from the educators, but also away from the learners. Take their power away to in any way direct their own learning. And so you take this thing that should be this organic process, this very human process, and make it into this very inhuman and very inorganic thing. So that makes me angry. Many of you, when you were walking in, saw me busily pacing back and forth over there. I wasn't trying to impress you with how busy I am. I'm talking on the phone. I know this is a reception of my honor. I can't talk to you right now. I got a phone call. No, it was a very important phone call. I think you'll be happy to hear that I was getting a phone call from a teacher at Garfield High School in Seattle. That's why I was freaking out and pacing back and forth. Because if you haven't heard, just today, the entire teaching staff of Garfield High School did something that no staff has done in the entire United States of America. They unanimously voted to refuse to administer the standardized test this year. So, Jesse was, this teacher was calling me to brag. Telling me how great the press conference was. And it was great, so it sounds. But there's a problem, which is that, of course, the powers that be immediately put out a statement to all outlets, simply saying, the tests are mandatory. So, we understand the stakes of these tests are high, that's part of it. And so the civil disobedience, this act of defiance, is a high-stakes situation. And it's not just that the teachers' jobs are at stake, but everything that we're here tonight about, everything that this play is about, everything that we are about is at stake. Democracy, justice, genuine teaching and learning, it's all at stake in this kind of a struggle. And so I want to urge you, just with my last words here, to not only come out, support the play, tell people about it, but please keep these teachers in your thoughts constantly. Figure out a way for your church, your organization, your staff to write a public message of support for them. And it may come down to raising money for them. It may come down to signing petitions for them. It may come down to marching for them. We don't know what we might have to do. But we want them to be a bad example. People who dare to fight back and actually live to tell about it so that others might dare as well. I'm really honored to be here tonight. I feel like these two things happening on the same day. Hopefully when they write the history of how we beat education, privatization, reform, this will be one of those days that, that is told as part of the turning point, and we can all say that we were there. And we should all also be able to say that we did our part to make sure that this struggle went forward and that it won. And I believe we can win. Thank you.